Ah. I've failed again. I was trying to keep as quiet as I could. It's okay. Anyways, hello people. I'm back once again because God forbid I have a life. Um anyways, so I was actually supposed to stream like a couple hours earlier, but do be like that. It's okay. Anyways, late streaming. Okay, well, okay. So, I was gonna you know how I'm supposed to stream at like 9 p.m.? That's what I originally planned to do, right? But then, I did this cool little thing called, I fell asleep, I set an alarm, I woke up, and I didn't hear the alarm. So I woke up at like midnight and I was like, oh, damn, okay. Well, and then I was like, well, I also need to get dinner. So I got dinner and then, um, yeah. So now we're here. But at like what cost? You know what I mean? But anyways, it's okay. Um, we don't question my slightly strange existing habits. Okay. Anyways, I'm gonna just put on background music. I don't know how to go from this part of the drawing. Um, I did this like pretty much yesterday, but you know, I got like thanks, appreciated. I'm gonna merge selected layers. So this is gonna be I have like my multiple sketch layers now. It was like the base color, kind of. And I'm like, should I just like paint over it? I feel like that's like the only option, but it's okay. Anyways. In my head, I can't figure out how you're supposed to render from this point. Um, it's definitely not anywhere near the word finished, but like, I also don't really know how to do this. And that's okay. I'm gonna see if I can get some tutorials. Because I feel like, yeah, I feel like I could just get bored about like the way I draw half the time, so I'm like trying new things as much as I can. But then I slowly start to give up halfway in between as well. So it's like, you know, it do be like that, but it's okay. I personally have no idea how diffused like light can get under the sun, but that is okay. So I feel like I definitely need much more on the shadow part right now. Um, a lighter on the inner stuff, but like since he has an umbrella, wouldn't it make more sense for the light to come from the back then? Oh, okay. Anyways, yeah, sorry for the late streams. It's okay. Anyways. I wonder if somebody else here is drawing and coloring. Oh well. Woke up from a nightmare and thought you'd drop by to say hello. Crazy behavior. But you know what? Yeah. I did plan to stream at 9. I just was not awake. So, you know, a little bit hard to stream when you're not conscious. A bow? Like a bow and arrow? Like an archery bow? Oh yeah, that's a good idea. I'm not shrimping that much today. But yeah, I want to like probably get this drawing done today. There's no actual reason for me to like have to do it, but you know, I was just like bored, so I was like, I might as well get this done. No, I was not shrimping. I have no proof. What the I see. Interesting. So it was like, were you trying to shoot something in particular, or did you just like have a bow and arrow for shits and giggles? Actually, I feel like I should. I don't know. I don't really know how to draw. I don't really know how to color things. Which has been an issue. It's not a fun one to have, but. I'm gonna add a bit more. Want more red on the clothes, maybe. Can't tell. Actually, no, this is probably a bit better. Get a variety of colors for shading. Okay, that would probably be better. In my heart, this is better. I'm gonna have like a not fun time doing the umbrella, so I'm gonna ignore it for now and just focus on the character. I just have no idea how people like color things. I'm like, every time I see somebody trying to color things, I'm like, oh my god, that's so cool. How the fuck do you do it? And I will never find out. And that is okay. I don't remember that much. Damn, that sucks. With my real unicorn? Yeah. I'm a fake unicorn, y'all. Fake unicorn. Okay, you know what? Let's just color the face first, because I feel like that's the easiest thing to color, generally speaking. Here, this brush. I love this weird little brush. I like the shape that it does. It's like, since it's like kind of a triangle brush. It's interesting. I do heavily enjoy this brush. I will say, not 100% sure how to feel about the fact that there is no actual line art right now. Everything's just kind of on one layer, if you can't tell. So it's a little silly. You'll save your cheese for grass. Oh god, that's horrific. Don't do that to me. Don't do that to me. Don't torture me. I'd have to find somewhere to do the grass stream if anybody ever does end up redeeming it, though. Which was not thought of ahead of time when I add that as a redeem. Whoops. Okay, whatever. That's fine. And the Titan's back again. You know what? Sure, what the hell. Oh, look. Some people actually know how to color things. That's crazy. Genuinely could not relate. What? Am I just focusing on the face because I have no idea how to color the rest of the character? No comment. But that is okay. Anyways, my fish cannibalism idea got accepted by my prof, so now I get to make a sapphic fish box. Yeah. That's a sentence that I thought I would leave my mouth someday. Yeah, no, it is literally what it sounds like. I have a cannibalist fish society, and I'm making a box for it for a project that contains bits and pieces of lore about the society. Yeah. Oh yeah, right. Okay, so after yeah, I haven't talked more about the fish thing since the fish drawing stream. It's okay. No, it's okay. Okay. Yeah, I haven't told y'all more about it since the fish drawing stream. So you know what? You guys, would you like to be filled in on the lore of the fish? Because I'm so down. Yeah. It is reverse mermaid. Cause you know like a couple streams back when I drew the fish person. Where are you? This one? This cutie? Yeah, so she spiraled off into like absolute random. It's okay. It's okay if you weren't there. But you know. Yeah. So, okay, so that spiraled off into way too much of a brain worm for me. Because I kept thinking about it, and then I was like, okay, well, guess we're doing my final project on this. Because why not? Okay, so basic gist of it is, I say the fish people are an evolutionary mistake because the fish people are an evolutionary mistake and they should have never existed because, God forbid, somebody actually wanted to make fucking reverse fish people who can't even swim but can't even walk, can't even be like a regular human. So the fish people, they reside at the bottom of the seafloor. Well, actually probably more in like the Twilight Zone, in terms of like depth of ocean and stuff that they live in. And there's two parts to them. There's the freshwater fish and the saltwater fish societies. They both evolved from a common ancestor, but that's like a side thing. Yeah, anyways, so hold on, I'm trying to draw this while also trying to remember from the top of my head how much I have. Okay, so basically, the fish society, they have like for the freshwater fish, they live more in like a Roman style, like kind of like the ancient Romans, you know how they had like their empire and they had their cities and stuff. It's a little bit more like that. While the saltwater fish live in more nomadic tribes, and they basically, it would be like each fish species would have their own little tribe instead of like the sharks and the goldfish living together, right, under the same like government. The fish government. But yeah, hold on, am I stupid? Okay, I guess so, that's fine. Anyways, so in the fish society, the freshwater fish society, they have it so that the basically, the more of a predator fish you are, the higher rank you are in the society, because the sharks and stuff, I don't actually know if there's sharks in freshwater, but that's a side thing. But like the bigger fish, they obviously eat the smaller fish, right? So they do have fish human farms so that some of the lower class fish that are born, like the smaller fish, get eaten by the higher level fish, because why the fuck not? Hashtag food chain stuff. But like, yeah, but like it doesn't really matter that much. They don't really worship sharks. They do have their own set of gods that I haven't really figured out that part yet. Because the main focus of the box that I'm creating for the project will be of the saltwater fishies. So they don't need to know the freshwater fish pantheon gods. Because obviously, because they live in different different like societal like structures for their own societies, the fish do have a different like type of like gods and stuff that they worship. But yeah. So, anyways, so so the freshwater. Well, I guess it is kind of a theocracy, in the freshwater fish society, in which it's less of like the more of a shark you are, the like more likely you are to be like worshipped or anything. It's more like their fish gods make them think that like the bigger it is only like natural for the big fish to eat the small fish. So they kind of just accept it as a way of life, more or less. Anyways, so the higher level fish also, okay, so the exchange between the freshwater fish and the saltwater fish is through trade. So whenever the saltwater fish tribes pass by the freshwater kingdoms, or I guess cities and stuff, they're able to trade with with the freshwater fish, like because saltwater fish are more nomadic, they're able to just like wander around the sea and kind of just like collect a bunch of random shit, while the freshwater fish, they live in a more like agricultural, more like kind of specific, rigid societal structures. Okay, so no other marine creatures are humanoid. However, because the freshwater fish, because the fish people were originally like fish, they are still able to understand all marine creatures. So all marine creatures can interact with each other, and they can speak to each other, which means that like, especially with the fish using like jellyfish and stuff as like fashion statement pieces, it does call into like a little bit of an ethical like issue, because of the fact that they are all sentient to the fish people, so they are able to talk to like the jellyfish and stuff. However, they still farm the jellyfish for like aesthetic value, which is fun. Anyways, but no other like marine creatures outside of like just general fish creatures are more humanoid. But yeah. Obviously there are some fish that are born with like defects and stuff, and regular fish still do exist in this society. So like regular like fish without legs. Yeah, pretty much. Um okay, it's like anyways, so like more like regular fish, I guess. Like the ones without the human limbs, they are usually the ones that are being hunted by the nomadic saltwater fish people, because the saltwater fish people don't enjoy cannibalism as much as the freshwater fish people. Like they do still partake in it if they need to, um, and or if they're in the freshwater fish area, because you gotta deal with the culture of the other place that you're in. But the freshwater, but the saltwater fish are not reliant solely on eating other fish people. And usually when possible, they will try to hunt for like the non-evolved fish. Um, yeah. Anyways, so okay, more about it. So okay, so the fish societies, they also have, because the freshwater fish, they live in a much more stable environment, compared to the saltwater fish, with the fact that they have like a city and like a system of governance. And well, they all have a system of governance, but like a more rigid like structure um of government, compared to the saltwater fish. They also are able to develop things like the arts, and entertainment stuff. So there is technically Fish Hollywood. And that is in fact a canon part of my fish universe, and that is okay. Um, yeah, it is very morally gray. However, who cares? Not me. But yeah, so they have, okay. Hold on, I'm trying to draw this right now. You know what? Not bad. Anyways, so what was I? Well, what part was I at? Okay. Um. Oh yeah, Fish Hollywood. Okay, so Fish Hollywood is basically mostly like consists of like prettier fish, like betta fish and koi fish and stuff. Who, well, mostly basing on off of my personal aesthetics of I like these fish better, like aesthetically better. So they do have like fish models and fish entertainers and stuff. Which means that they are actually technically a little bit higher up in the fish society ladder compared to like the regular fish who are not as aesthetically pleasing, because of the fact that they do have like pretty privileged fish. Um, yeah, well, it is supposed to be set on Earth, but like I assume it would be a little, cause so all the, okay, hold on, there are, yeah, anyways, don't know, are you guys in an ad? I feel like you guys are in an ad. Okay, I will I will wait a little bit before yapping more about the fish. Oh, okay, you're good? Okay. Alright. Anyways, so basically, this would actually, okay, so the fish people are currently extinct. Well, actually, at the very least, the freshwater fish people are still extinct, or extinct right now. The saltwater fish are technically in hiding, but we're not actually 100% sure. Um, so I believe it would be during like more. I think that the timing for this would be set a little bit further back in history. Um, Not exactly sure when, but like when just like allegedly there's bigger rivers and like lakes and stuff for the freshwater fish to settle in. Um, there is a bit of logical holes here because I'm not particularly into marine biology or anything, so I don't really know too much about it. But yeah. Anyways, so the freshwater fishies, with their like Fish Hollywood stuff, means that they're developing like very like interesting things like aesthetically and like technologically. Um, so they're advancing pretty rapidly, I think. However, because of the fact they still have like a very rigid like hierarchical system in the fish universe. But okay, anyways, so the fish merchants, the saltwater fish merchants and the freshwater fish merchants, they all, or actually technically all the fish speak a common tongue. They all speak the same fish language, which I'm not really gonna deal with. I only need to deal with the written part of the fish language, because yeah, anyways, so the writing of the fish language people, so the freshwater fish, all the saltwater fish people, because of the fact that they do, all of them do have to engage in trade with the freshwater fish, they are all literate, or most of them are literate fish. Most like merchant fish and stuff, they're all like able to read. I don't know if fish have school, like literal schools, but yeah, so they're all able to read. However, the the freshwater fish are the ones who have a little bit more restriction on education, because why the fuck not? I'm invested. I've spent too much time brain rotting this, so you're just gonna have to deal with it. Anyways, so the freshwater fish. Oh wait, I don't like the way this curve is going. Hold on, give me 1 second. I'm trying to fix this part of the drawing. I feel like it's just really unnatural looking. How the fuck do I get this fixed? Oh wait, hold on. I'll just undo this part. See what it was originally. Okay, well, good enough. Anyways, okay, so the freshwater fish, because they do have this weird hierarchical structure, the rich fish don't want to be seen as the same as the poor fish, and there is also technically discrimination between the fish people. However, they are able relatively to live in harmony, in terms of like trade and stuff, but most like freshwater fish don't really want to get involved with the saltwater fish, and the saltwater fish don't really want to get involved with the freshwater fish outside of trade. So obviously, because all the fish people are able to speak, read, and write in the same fish language, the higher up, like the upper class saltwater fish are like, hey, we don't want to be seen as the same as those saltwater fish and those like regular fish. So for their writing system, they develop also a type of fish cursive, which is not relevant in the story that I'm, or any of the artifacts that I'm creating for the class, like for my final. However, it is just a piece of lore that I was like, okay, well, I'm gonna share this shit for y'all. Anyways, but yeah, so basically the gist of okay, so we have to make a box. This is my assignment is that I have to make a box of a lost civilization that you find somewhere, that you magically found somewhere, and then you have to have like trinkets of the civilization that kind of like gives it a little bit of an idea of what it's like, how it's like the civilization is like created, and we have to have like at least one like booklet type of like work, right? So my idea is to, well, one, you know my fish society already, right? But outside of the fish society, I'm also going to, so for the main story of my fish world, we have the box that you're getting basically is going to be owned by this one saltwater fish merchant, and it contains letters of exchange between that fish merchant and their freshwater Doom Sapphic Yuri lover thing situation. Situationship, not 100% sure what's going on there, because there's fish racism, obviously. But two, there's also a class system Because the freshwater fish that the fish merchant fell in love with is also a lower class fish, which meant that she is destined to be eaten by a higher class fish because that is simply her fate, as a smaller fish. So the fish merchant, like, they started basically, they met each other, I believe, once when the fish merchant was selling stuff in the fish market place that I haven't decided on what exactly to call it. And that's when they met. And basically they would start talking and stuff, but the freshwater fish, they knew that they were going to die eventually anyways. So even when the saltwater fish was like, hey, I could take you away from here, they were like, no, like, I'm doomed to be stuck here forever. And hashtag I don't want to ruin your life situation. You know the regular good old stupidly cliche angst plot. Think of that. Anyways, hold on. I'm gonna turn down my heater real quick. It's a little bit hot in here. Anyways, back to Fishery. Okay. So, back to Fishery. So basically, because the fish, the saltwater fish, are still very nomadic, they do have to, like, you know, like, leave the freshwater fish area all the time, right? Don't worry, now all you can think of will be Fishery. Okay, so because of the fact that the saltwater fish has to leave, you know, since they're a nomadic group of people and they need to get more items for trade and stuff, all that good stuff, it means that basically the saltwater fish is like, oh, I won't be able to see you, like, and all that. And so the saltwater fish finds out through this that the lower class freshwater fish are unable to read and write. So a lot of their much like in, like, a lot of those medieval or, like, would it be Romanesque, medieval, like, and Gothic, like, cathedrals and stuff, how they have a lot of iconography, like, on the ceilings and stuff, like stained glass windows and all that, to convey like, the gods and stuff, so that the people who are unable to read can still understand the scriptures. That is the only, like, kind of reading that the fish people are, the lower class Yuri fish is, freshwater fish is able to read, right? Because it's, like, literal just images. But she never was taught how to read because her destiny was to fucking die. Anyways, so the saltwater fish was like, okay, before you leave, I'm gonna go teach you how to read at least a little bit, read and write, so that you're able to send messages to me whenever, like, another saltwater fish merchant comes around, and you can just tell them to, like, send a letter towards wherever the fuck I am, I guess. Because the saltwater fish, they have the network, but, you know, it's like, oh, if you meet this fish out in the ocean, you know, just, like, give them this letter, right? So yeah, that's how the fish area is going. So because they don't have that much time to get to know each other, and also, you know, to, like, for the freshwater fish to really be able to learn how to write and read, the letters between the two, the freshwater fish is much more, what do you call it, like, the handwriting is much more shaky and stuff because she's not used to being able to, like, write and read. And there's a lot of spelling errors with the freshwater fish, but that is okay because the saltwater fish collects all the letters. And the thing is, the saltwater fish and the freshwater fish, because the saltwater fish has to, like, go out into basically fucking nowhere all the time, vast part of the ocean, they're not able to see each other often, maybe, like, once a month or, like, once a year or some bullshit, right? Haven't decided on that timeline yet. Anyways, so they primarily exchange conversation via these letters. And usually it would just be like the freshwater fish being like, oh, this is what happened today, like, how you doing, you know, like very regular letters. Until one day, like, the freshwater, and they do exchange it back and forth. So like the freshwater fish is still getting the letters from the saltwater fish, even while the saltwater fish is moving around and all that. But yeah. So the freshwater fish eventually does end up dying because, you know, that this is her fate. And the saltwater fish doesn't really find that out until she realizes that she's not getting her letters anymore. So the next time she's back in like the freshwater fish's like town and stuff, she finds out that, oh, the freshwater fish has been eaten by one of the higher class fish. And then the fish falls into despair, and I haven't decided on that part. And then you see that the saltwater fish keeps like all the the saltwater fish basically takes all the letters between the two that she found in the freshwater fish's house, and kind of just keeps it in this box with the rest of her letters as well. What do you mean? How would what work? There's a lot of issues in this. There's a lot of plot holes in this story, okay? And I'm aware of that. Are you talking about the ransacking the house thing? It would be more because all the other fish around them would know that, well, not that they were really romantically involved or have like a situationship and stuff, but they knew that they were at the very least friends. So they were like, and the freshwater fish didn't really have other close relatives because, you know, they were all eaten and all that good stuff. Nom nom nom. All the fish are very delicious. But yeah, so basically the saltwater fish collects all the remaining letters that they could find between the freshwater fish and themselves in the freshwater fish's house, and keeps it in this box, which is the box that we found many years into the future, brackets, for my project. And the freshwater fish and the saltwater fish, basically they had this box for a while. They kind of just like keep it for like other stuff, like their own religious worship and stuff, because the saltwater fish, they do have their own like gods and stuff. So, you know, they keep all their little trinkets and all that good stuff in this little box. But the saltwater fish does keep like the letters between her and the freshwater fish in that box, and just kind of leaves it there. And she does still sometimes write to the freshwater fish, except obviously none of the letters are sent because they're dead. And so the freshwater fish, so the saltwater fish just has like a collection of, so there's a bunch of letters going back and forth, but there's also a bunch of letters just of the saltwater fish like writing towards their dead kind of fish lover, because why not, right? Free will is a myth, and I don't fucking know. I have issues, and that is okay. But yeah, so there's that part of the fish, Yuri. And then the other parts of my homework, or the box that I have to make, is that we have to just come up with 2 other trinkets to put in there. So one of them I'm gonna do is like a sculpted like little object of religious worship for the freshwater, for the saltwater fish, because religion is actually a really good way of seeing how different societies have evolved and like what their core beliefs are. So I believe that having a religious object within the fish box would be very helpful and relevant in terms of us in the future trying to find out what like the fish world is like. And because the saltwater fish is a very nomadic tribe, I do want them to have much smaller objects of religious worship, much like those like small portraits of like the Virgin Mary that some people would carry around during their crusades, or not crusades, pilgrimages. That's the right word. During the pilgrimages and stuff, where you would just keep like a small little like object of religious worship on you so that you are able to just kind of pray wherever. A bell is a good idea. But yeah, I haven't decided on it yet, what exactly it would be, because I haven't decided on the god that the saltwater fish worships yet. So there's that. And the second one I want to, and the last object that I want to add is probably going to be like newspaper ads, fish paper ads, because it's interesting, and I feel like as a merchant, the saltwater fish would probably want to keep up to date on like all the fish drama that's going on in the world. Don't question the logic. It'll work. Okay, it'll work if it has to. There will be some logical inconsistencies here. However, this is very much an art project and not a create a society that actually is going to be fully functional for whatever, I don't know what class you would ever do that in. But yeah. Anyways, so so I think I want to create like some like newspaper ads, like little fashion magazine clippets and stuff, that the saltwater fish would carry around with them, because I firmly believe that if you were a fish, you would if you were a merchant, you would probably want to keep up to date on all the drama within like anywhere pretty much. And see what's trending, see what's not, see what you need to bring back next time, see that, you know, all that fun stuff. So the fish would have to carry around things like little like clippings of fashion. The fashion magazine was my main thing, because the fish people also, they're not always born with all their limbs, because, you know, genetic mutations and all that do exist still in fish society, because, you know, no one's actually immune to like things like that. So they do have fish like disability, like fish disability friendly like things. I'm gonna add like different prosthetics for the fish, and it would be like, oh, new prosthetic for fish without, I don't know, like both their legs, or if they only have one leg, they can get the second one replaced with this thing. Or they would also have like some cosmetic like prosthetics as well, like, do you want your scale to be this color, we can dye your scales and stuff like that. And this is mostly obviously between the freshwater fish society, because they're the ones who have a much more rigid like structure, and everybody is always in place, so they do have like a level of like trends that are going on, especially with the fact that there is like an upper echelon within the fish world for the freshwater fish. So, you know, you gotta be able to separate the social fish classes, the fish social classes, social fish I don't know. But yeah, that is my idea. And I think that I'm fucking going insane, and that is okay. But yeah, that is how my fish society is going. I don't know. Do we like it? Do we hate it? Am I getting blocked for coming up with the idea? Like, what's the gist? Because I think it's fun. Oh, also, anyways, yeah, the jellyfish is dead. All the fish that they use for their, like, clothing and stuff are all dead. Their dead bodies are repurposed, so basically a bunch of them are just basically wearing the corpses of their neighbors on them. Because why not? It's cute. You know? Anyways. Opinion on my fish society. I take criticism sometimes. Or I will just argue with you, I'm not sure. But yeah, anyways, I have to come up with another society for another class, and I'm like, I could reuse the fish society, but I'm like kind of like I only want to do one project for the Fish Society and one project for like another one, but I haven't decided on what the other one would be. Yeah, like animal fur, except the animals can talk to you. And sometimes the animals are your neighbors. So it's like people who have like humans. It's like those serial killers who have like human skin couches and shit like that. Except, you know, it's not considered weird in this society. It should be. From like a human perspective, it should be weird to have like your siblings or your family just like as your couch. Or like as the clothes you're wearing on your body and like the boots on your like feet and stuff. However, who cares? Because they're fish, and fish don't care what humans think. Yeah, it is worse. However, it's kind of fun to think about, you know? But yeah, I just got kind of bored, and I was like, okay, well, we're just gonna go off a weird little fish society. And that's okay. Anyways, I have been very art blocked for the past couple of days, which you can't really tell because of how much art I still end up producing. However, I am genuinely like art blocked, because you could kind of tell from how slow I work. But that did end up with me drawing bad 90s yaoi as a way of trying to fight the art block. And you know what? It worked. So like, if you ever need to get out of an art block, just draw bad yaoi. Oh, sorry, ignore that. Yeah, you just gotta draw like really, really bad yaoi. And it'll save you. Bad yaoi saves everyone. It's also really easy to do too. So it's like, it's kind of silly. Exactly. If it works, it works. I feel like I should add more like, ah, yes, gorgeous. I don't know what hairstyle we're doing today. I have literally just been drawing like Junduk yaoi, like ominous reader's viewpoint yaoi, for the past who knows how long. But yeah, isn't it so kawaii? Isn't this just truly peak art? This is one of my favorite ones. I think it really encapsulated a lot of emotion here. But obviously my favorite yaoi one that I drew is obviously the silly little comic. Because it was peak. It is peak. It is objectively hilarious. I did actually spend a little too much time on this. So it is weirdly high quality for how stupid it is. I got some great art here. I didn't know how to do the last panel because I did want to have like the other 7 dwarves because this is a Snow White story. However, I clearly failed. So I was just like, okay, we're just all gonna become dumplings now. I do think that this one was pretty nicely drawn. I do wish there was a little bit more dramatic with the tears. But yeah, objectively, I think this one is probably the best panel in here. But yeah, criticisms of, you should be, dude, I was drawing this and I was like so unserious. I was like, no fucking way this is what I'm doing in my life. The script was really bad because I couldn't figure out what I wanted to write, and I was like, how much can I write without like getting the point across without it getting too weird? However, I did want it to be really cringy. I feel like I should have changed Growl's to be outside, and I do think that this line could be better, but that's like, you know, a future issue. I do think that the line "Watashi will save you will save thee with a true love's kiss" is probably peak writing on my end. Anyways, I shouldn't be allowed in public. I think that's the gist of it, though. Car crash. Oh yeah, I do also have a drawing of a car crash here as well. But this is for another project that I have. I have many projects. This one's not going as well. I kind of like the old like sketchier drawing of it, but instead of the cleaner one. Yeah, but I will deal with that later. Future problem, future me. How do I get out of here? Hello, hello. I finished talking about my fish Yuri. Anyways. I'm thinking of, I have to make another society for another one of my classes, so I'm not 100% sure what exactly I want to start it off with yet. Because I'm like, I don't want it to be like another fish one. I'm not sure if I wanted to be basing it off of animals. However, it's a 10 edition project, which means that I have to make 10 copies, or not 10 copies, like 10 versions of one thing. So I could do like a field guide or like an animal study or something like that of like, thank you. Okay, so really funny. Totally forgot to talk about this drawing at all during my weird little fish rant. But this drawing is actually based off of this fan fiction that I read. Because you know what? It was a good fic, okay? It was a good fic. Aquatic mammals, I think we're gonna stay away from the water stuff. However, I'm not sure if I want to do another plant one because I've done a couple of plant projects already. But then again, I'm like, what else do I enjoy? And I'm like, not much. But I do want like I still enjoy doing the society part because I feel like society, you can get a lot out of creating like a society. You can overthink the fuck out of it and it'll be great. My prof was weirdly also invested in my fish Yuri after I told her about it, and she was like, oh my god, I'm very interested and intrigued. But it's okay because now I've expanded on the lore a little bit since then. Snakes. Wait, hold on. Okay, well, it's okay. I had this debate with people on Discord. Speaking of snakes, by the way, totally NSFW, but we were talking about like having what would happen if somebody had like 2 dicks and how the balls would stack, and that is all I can think of now that you said snake. No, we have not figured out how it would be stacking. It was a very interesting conversation. I have such weird conversations with people online. It is strange. It is a strange place to be. And yet I put myself in these situations anyways. So like, it's kind of my fault. Anyways. I don't think we ever figured out if it would be a vertical stack or like a horizontal row. But it's okay. That's crazy. Do you have like some words muted? But yeah, anyways. I don't remember what it was. Oh, I think the fic that I read for this was called like Paper Flowers or something. I don't remember who it's by. I do have it in my AO3 bookmarks, but like whatever. And I have to share my AO3 with y'all. And I'm like, ha. Damn, that's crazy. But yeah, it was a pretty good fic. It was not too long. I think it was only like, how long was it? Probably like 55k words. So it was a pretty short fic, I think, generally speaking. Oh, I forgot that I had that account. Wait. I just realized I forgot that I had the fucking Furry Fanatic account. So I could post stupid Nick Wild. Okay, you know, it's a whole thing. Don't worry about it too much. Yeah. It's called Paper Flowers for the God of Gods. It was fun. It was a very fun fic. I enjoyed it. Thank you. I really do try my best. But yeah, it was 55,000 words. It was pretty short. It was a pretty fun read. Honestly, so much happened in that time. I was just like, wow, impressive. But then again, I forget how long regular novels are. Side note, I do need to read Lord of the Mysteries. Because I have it with me, but I've just like never bothered to read it. And I'm like, I should. I really should read it. Anyways, I used to write fan fiction with my friends back in middle school, or back in high school. And we posted it on Wattpad, but then it got taken down. Because we didn't tag it properly as NSFW, which is totally not my fault because Wattpad changed their policy, okay? So it was like, whatever. Anyways, so that sucked. We lost our 11,000, we lost, I think, before it got taken down, we had like 17,000, reads on it. It was so tragic. But yeah, I miss that thing. It was not well written at all though. It was a questionably written fic, and it was also a Nick Wilde X-Reader fic. So do with that information as you will. If you know about it, no you don't. I did end up re-uploading it onto AO3 and also Wattpad again, because I was just like, well, I mean, it's already on there, so I was like, I might as well just like reshare it in case anybody gave a shit about it still, which thankfully didn't. If you're reading Nick Wilde fics in 2025, that is very much a you problem. Like, I respect your preferences. I do not understand why though. But yeah, it was strange. It was okay at first. It was like kind of like a regular like YN fic at first, you know, like the whole YN gets bullied by, I don't know, what was her name? I think it was Brittany or some shit. A popular girl, and then she ends up meeting Nick Senpai and shit like that. Yes, we did have him just under Nick Senpai, so do with that information as you will. But then I think it started derailing at chapter 2, honestly, because then we had YN have like a Nick Wilde plush, or not even Nick Wilde plush, it was like a Nick Wilde body pillow. It was very odd. But yeah. That's crazy. Anyways, but yeah, it was interesting. And then the second one of my friends started writing smut, it just ended up just being pure smut for like, I think like 7-8 chapters. Or actually, I don't even know how many chapters it was in total, but I just remember like the rest of the story was just smut, and I was like, girl, what the fuck. But anyways, we never finished that story, so it is forever an incompleted work. If anybody wants to read it, don't read it. Don't do that to yourself. But yeah, and then during that fanfiction spree, we also did a couple other ones. We did this emo Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson x Jeffree Star one, which was kind of odd. God, y'all, my digital footprint is horrific. Okay, I feel like I should have put that out there before that, but okay. Yeah, my digital footprint is horrific. But we didn't really go that far with that story because I think we all just kind of like lost interest on that one really fast. All I know was Ebony, Darkness, Dementia, Raven, Way from My Immortals, the fanfiction, was there. I think she was Dwayne's best friend or something. And they went to a JoJo Siwa concert, and then that's where they met Jeffree Star, I think was the gist of it. But yeah, I don't remember that much from that one. My personal favorite out of the ones we wrote was definitely the Harry Styles X Reader Mafia AU one, even though we took that as a title and we did not listen to that at all. It just went so weird so fast. Okay, so it started with like a very normal kind of like YN story. It was like, I put my hair up in a messy bun, I go to school, I get bullied, I go home, and I get sold to One Direction, right? Thank you. Anyways, anyways, welcome to the stream, Gorillas. I fear my current list of songs is just all Chinese BL OSTs. You can request songs here. Yeah, just do that. What is this? Oh, it's a part of Little Mushroom. I was wondering what this part of the song is. It's a part of the lore, I believe, the story. Anyways. Side note, Little Mushroom has such interesting world building. I was so locked in. Ugh, I need to find like the books of it. But yeah. I do give maybe a little too much power to y'all, but it's okay. Me, of course. I'm literally drawing a character from a Chinese BL, okay? So, like, okay, yeah. So, like, what are you gonna do? Judge me? Like, guys, we've established that I read yaoi on the regular, okay? We've established that part. Anyways. Oh, I do believe that the bot doesn't allow you more than 10 minutes of music or something. There is a weird time limit for the songs. I don't know why. I think it's just so that people don't like put like 3-hour songs on. But it is, you know, there is a limit. I don't know if I can change it though. Can I change it? Let me check the settings. Oh, fuck. Oops. Give me a second. Let me just... Why is it not duplicating? Okay, well. I'll just duplicate this page and then I'll just check the settings. Give me a second. Yeah, there's... Yeah, I don't... Yeah, there's no way for me to be able to, check how... Or, I can't change the length of the song limit, sadly. It's okay. Here, you can have your Tito. Anyways, what was I talking about? Oh, the fucking hairstyles fic. Yeah, so, at one point in the story, or actually, it's not even one point in the story, it's pretty early on in the story, Ed Sheeran pops in and then gets slapped by a Rainbow Among Us figure into the road and gets hit by a car or bus. and is allegedly dead for like 4 chapters, because he was fighting over YN, like with Harry Styles, and that was just, you know, a great part of the stories that I deal with. You're requesting them faster than I can move them up the list. I will not lie. It's okay. Fish? Fish song? For a pair? Oh! Oh, like the food. Yeah. Yeah. Gotta love the fucking Tito. My brother, this fucker kept like the, I don't know how to draw hair. Yes. Okay. Yeah. I remember my brother having this as basically his fucking like, what was it? His Roblox character, like avatar all the time for like a whole, like, every time I play with him, it would just be fucking the Tito, and he would have a mini Tito with him. Anyways, that was fun. Anyways, every time I think of my online presence, I do question, like, what I've been doing in my life a little bit. But it's okay. It do be like that. I feel like that happens for everyone, though. Right? Like, we've all done weird shit on the internet, right? So it's like what's with more? I think I run around as Taco. It was crazy. My Roblox avatar, it's okay. It was technically Meowie, Meow Meow from Guild Member Next Door or Virtual Strangers. I'm not 100% sure which title you guys use for it. It's a BL, anyways. Because I was like, there's enough G-stars on the internet that I'm like, I'm gonna choose one of the other characters, and I really like Meowie, but then it kind of like devolved from there. Yeah, so I have like a, here, let me just share to y'all what my Roblox avatar looks like. It's cute. It's cute, trust me. Or at least I think it's cute. And my opinions are the real ones. Isn't it cute? It has like a little like, I ended up just putting too many burgers to it. But it's okay. But it's cute. It has a cookie in its mouth. It just kind of stands there. Anyways, this is my stuff. I go back to the drawing. Yeah, it's a very cute little avatar. I haven't played Roblox in a while though, because I just haven't felt like it, honestly. I feel like not that many games nowadays are very fun on Roblox, which is why I haven't been back, but it's okay. I'll go back eventually, probably. Girl, I don't know why you can't see the others though. That's the issue. I think it might be something on your end, not on everybody else's end. Yeah, because yeah, I like back when I used to play Roblox, I mostly played like Royal High and stuff. Before a lot of the like the new school came out and all that. Like back when it was more roleplay, because I enjoy like collecting the outfits and like kind of pretending to like do the classes and stuff. Because it was like I didn't care for much like the gems and all that. But then the trading system got introduced and I was like, oh, so you now everybody's like trying to get the new Halo and stuff, and like less people are role playing. They're all just like, do you guys have the new Halo or like some shit? And I'm like, where's Jake 16 Alpha Wolf Demon like hybrid prince thing? Like where did that go? Where did culture go? You know? I don't know why it takes 50 seconds. That is, I have no idea. But yeah. There we go. Oh, by the way, anybody can request music at any time. Like it's not just like one person's able to request it. By the way, um, internet issue. You could also try to reload the stream. It might help a little bit. But there is a delay between like when you type in the chat and when it loads on my end. And then it'll probably have like another delay between my end and then your side as well. So that might be it, but yeah, maybe try reloading. Usually just throwing your like device against something helps for everything though. But yeah. It's only 12. Wait, what type of manhwas are we talking about? I feel like I lost the conversation a little bit ago. You've been napping like hell, girl? Same. Honestly, same. I think so. My art style is so inconsistent though. It's okay. One day I will find out how to draw properly. Okay, yeah, it might have been a reloading thing. Sometimes for some reason Twitch just gets slower and slower as the stream goes on. It's very odd, but whatever. Did somebody throw a rock at me? Of course you did. I have way too much of an inconsistent, like, everythingness on my end. It's okay. It's kind of funny. Why is my chair making that noise? Yeah, it pretty much is, yeah. Also, do you guys say turn on the lights or do you say like open the lights? I don't know why. And it's the same like closing and like turning off. Cause I say like turn on the lights, but then I say like close the light. Yeah, exactly. Just like open and close everything, and then maybe it'll work. Usually it works. Everything works. I think I'm doing the close okay-ish. I don't know what y'all think, but I think it's turning out okay. Half okay, maybe at the very least. I'm definitely not good with clothing folds though. That has always been an issue for me. For how much I enjoy drawing the design of the clothes, I am dog shit at drawing the actual clothes itself. Um, Oh, interesting. On this one server I'm on, someone's making probably one of the Honkai Star Rail characters fan arts. I don't fucking know. Oh, you can see other people now. Lights are off. No. Like you know when you tell somebody to like turn on and off the lights. It's like, do you tell them to like close the lights or do like what? I don't know why, because like every so often like someone calls me out for saying close the lights instead of turn off the lights. And I'm like, what the fuck is wrong with that? It's okay. It's just like a little linguistic thing that like I say. I don't know, it's apparently weird, but who cares? The big fold under the left hand. Which fucking left? What's the left hand? This one's the left hand? Or like the hand on the left or the left hand? The hand on the left side or the left hand? Because those are two very different things right now. If it's this one, yeah, it doesn't feel right either. It's okay. I did fail this one. Um, I will edit her later. I will say, streaming art and stuff makes it so that it's easier for me to focus on it. Um, my profs have been telling that, like, people that, like, hey, you guys, you gotta find a system that works for you in terms of, like, finishing your work and stuff. And so far, this has been the most efficient one, so I think we'll just keep this for a while. And then you guys gotta watch me make more bullshit as my life goes on. Um, it's okay. But yeah, this one is too big. I will say this one is genuinely like too big. I will cut this one down a little bit. Let's cut her down to here maybe. I wasn't thinking when I drew it, so that might be the issue. Yeah, I think I like the size better. Okay. Cause it's the other one. Yeah, I enjoyed the way I drew the face, so then that's why I'm like trying my best not to touch it. Cause I feel really bad. I spent honestly so long trying to do the face. I don't know if the whole thing is in the recording of this drawing. But oh my god, it got like I was struggling. I was on this like voice call on Discord working on it because yeah, VGen server very helpful for shit like this. And I was just like struggling. I was just going back and forth on the face for like an hour, I think. It was bad. It was really bad. Oh my god. Anyways, it's okay though. So I think it turned out fine. So that's good. because I think the issue was for a while I was trying to. No, you can judge. It's like anybody can tell what is aesthetically good or aesthetically bad. You know, like, so I don't really care. I'm open to like any criticism when I ask for it. Sometimes I don't like it when people like give me criticism on like without me asking, and I'm like, okay, well, I don't really care. But yeah, usually during the streams, if you think something looks wrong, like feel free to just like shout it out. I really don't care. Like even if you don't know why it doesn't look good, it's like it's good. It's like it's during like classes and stuff. It's like, oh, you'll feel like, okay, for me, since I'm in art school, we do have to analyze and judge a lot of like different types of art, and we do have a lot of debates on what we consider as like real art and what's like not real art, and why we think that, and I have to go back and forth all the fucking time. And it's like it's just one of those things that we have to do, and it's good because it's like you can build up a vocabulary on how to talk about art, because a lot of the times it's like, how are you supposed to explain what you like and dislike about like a drawing if you don't know what exactly to say about it, if you can't analyze it and stuff. So a lot of the time, like some of our exercises would be like, okay, tell me what you like, what you dislike about the art, and why, and then you have to like slowly figure out how to explain the why part, and it's fun. I really enjoy it. And it's like, you know, you might as well. It's like, if something looks wrong, it's like, why is it wrong? I don't know, somebody will figure it out. Yeah. Oh yes, okay, that is actually true. I did forget to color this part. I think that was it. Yeah, it was I forgot to color that part. Anyways, yeah, just feel free to tell me if anything looks like completely whack or even like slightly weird. Exactly. Right? Because I don't notice these type of things. And that's a good thing. That's also why in art school like things like critique is very very important. And you want to be open to like advice from other people. You know? It's stuff like that. Yeah. I didn't notice it either. Exactly. It's like everybody will focus on different things, and it's interesting to see because like for me, I'm focusing specifically on the clothing folds and details right now, so I'm not looking at the rest of the artwork. But because you guys aren't actively drawing it right now, you can look at like the other parts of the art and see like what looks wrong, what looks, you know, half decent. Exactly. Yeah, it's fun. One of my favorite things to do whenever like it's like I just check in like those silly little art critique channels on like Discord and stuff, where they're like, oh, I need help with this drawing, and then I just like go on a spiel. It's so fun. On this one server I'm on, like sometimes I get pinged like specifically if someone's like, okay, I need advice, and I'm like, okay, y'all, I got you. Also, objectively, you do like develop your eye faster than you develop your like muscle like memory and like all that skill. So like you are, generally speaking, if you look at enough art, you will be better at spotting like the flaws and stuff, much better than you'll be able to like figure out how to draw it, you know? Like I can't draw like half the shit, but it's okay because at least I can spot the problems, and that is good enough for me. Um which is also why there's after a lot of people who graduate art school, they think that their art looks like dog shit and like they never improved at all. One of the reasons is because of the fact that they are so used to being able to critique art now that they're like that they notice much more flaws within their work. And they're like actual like ability to draw has not caught up with how they're able to analyze drawings, which is very interesting, of a thing that happens. But yeah, hopefully we'll figure it out. I can't draw backgrounds. Like, it's one of the things that, like, makes me want to die half the time. That's one of the things I can't draw. I'm not good at drawing things with a lot of angular shapes, because I have a really shaky hand. And I also am not the best at drawing side profiles and stuff, so it's not something that I draw often. Anyways, thank you. No, you're doing late today. Interesting. Yeah, a lot of patience. You do need a lot of patience when drawing stuff. Which is fun. But yeah, like the thing that I do is I draw a lot all the time, so that I can't get stuck in a rut, because I feel like if I look back too hard back on my, like, old art and I'm like, oh, this looks horrible, this looks, like, hideous, then I won't want to draw, and then I'll never be able to improve. So instead I just force myself to draw as much as humanly possible, so that, like, I don't have time to look back on my old art and see like how dog shit I am. No, I can see, the thing is, I can draw things like the background separately, but I can't draw it as well when I put characters into it. It's like an exclusive thing. It's like either I can draw the background or either I can draw the character inside of it. And, like, they don't mesh well together, which is the issue. Her dictator is benevolent. This is a dictatorship. Who am I kidding? But yeah. Anyways, I love yapping about art. It is so fun for me. Um, which is why, okay, so I found out that a couple of my classmates don't actually like art that much. Like, they don't enjoy doing it outside of class. And I'm like, why are you here? Like, not literally, like, I'm not gonna actually ask them, like, why are you at art school if you're not going to like to do art outside of school. But it's just so strange to me, because I'm like, why don't you just, like, choose another career? Oh my god, Fumi, you're alive! Oh wait, what is it? Happy late birthday, or is it? Yeah, I think it's past your birthday now. But oh my god, happy late birthday! I'm sorry I didn't join your stream yesterday though. Like, yeah, like, they aren't passionate enough. Like, I genuinely have nice. I genuinely have some of my classmates tell me that they're surprised that I draw, like, outside of class for fun. And I'm like, why? Okay, thank you. Like, this side thing? I don't know what part, but we will find out. Exactly, that's what I'm saying. I'm like, especially, like, since it's, well, one, my school's fucking expensive as hell. So I'm like, why would you, what would be the reason for choosing this as a major if you don't particularly enjoy it outside of just doing it for class assignments, you know? It's strange. But yeah. Fumi lives! Yippee! Anyways. I was like, I have your emojis on my account. And I was like, I just post it. But yeah. It's fun. And then there's, honestly, I have so much random shit to talk about for art school. I find, I don't know, I feel like my assignments are really fun, and I feel like some of my classmates just don't get it. I'm like, y'all just don't get how entertaining the assignments actually are. But that's like, because it bothers, okay. For me, I see a lot of my classmates, they have, like, a bunch of art supplies and stuff, because, like, I know these fuckers have, like, paints and shit. Yet somehow for every assignment they still end up using Procreate for everything, and I'm just like, please try something different and I die a little inside, but it's okay. I have my own little complaints about art school, and that's okay. But generally speaking, I do not like the rise in Procreate like only artists. I think that like if you're gonna go to school for it anyways, you might as well try as many mediums as you can while you're in school, since it doesn't have any like real world consequences and stuff. It's like if you decided, oh, I'm gonna try learning ink for the first time outside of art school, and like you're already like working like for a project and you fuck it up, then it'll like have some consequences, right? But like if you're in class, like maybe you might get like a slightly lower grade, but like does a grade really matter that much, you know? Like it really doesn't. Like C's get degrees, you know? So yeah, I try usually for my school projects, I do try my best to work, you know, as much traditionally as I can, if possible. But yeah, so you guys might see me craft the fish, the sapphic fish box on live later once I get the wooden box. I'm gonna be painting it and stuff after I come up with a design for it, because I think it'll be interesting. And also, like, why not play around with some traditional materials from time to time if you already have it, right? But yes. See, I would love to change the colors of this, the flowers, just so it feels a bit more cohesive. However, I am also one of those people who are like really into like trying to keep the drawing as close to the source material as possible. And my source material for this is a fan fiction where they specify the color of the flowers, because the color of the flowers does change the meanings of the flowers. So I can't change the fucking colors of the flowers. But I'm like, it just, the red on red is really bothering me, but it's okay. We will ignore that. Yeah. I just yap about shit. It's okay. Oh my god, no, my block of ice is breaking. Damn, that's- oh, fuck. Yeah. Anyways. What else can we talk about? I generally am not awake enough throughout the week to have anything interesting in my life happening. Which really sucks, because it's kind of tragic. I was just like, hi, I'm never really awake. So I don't really have anything to say, ever. But that's okay. Because it's kind of fun. It's more fun this way. But yeah. The holiday market opened near my school. So I went over today and I got some food. It was okay. Like, obviously, there's only so much you can expect from, like, silly little street food stuff. But, oh my god, I feel like the prices have inflated. Like, I swear to god it wasn't this expensive last year. But, you know, I literally just go there for a quick snack and stuff. But, yeah, I also found a new bubble tea restaurant, or bubble tea chain, I think, near my school. Because when I got pizza for lunch and stuff, it was, like, right beside it. And I haven't tried it yet. However, I'm interested. What? Hold on, am I crazy? Oh, okay. Sorry, this thing implies that there's gonna be a fold here, and there isn't. So. Shit. It's okay. Why do I keep doing that? I'm so bad at, like, the Clip Studio Paint, like, controls. Every time I try to do stuff, it's just like I'm pressing, like, the wrong buttons, and it's like, oh, so my life just hates me. It's okay. But yeah. Anyways, how have your days been? To anybody who wants to answer. I feel like, is this how teachers feel, like, whenever they ask their class, how was your weekend? And then everybody's fucking silent, dead silent, playing fucking Wordle on their, like, laptops. Honestly, probably. Damn, I have no idea what I'm gonna do after I graduate, though. It's okay. Future problem, future problem. Hey guys, how's your day been going? Dead silence, and then your teacher just like stalls for like 5 minutes, and they're like, okay, let's start with class, and then you're like, I kind of feel bad, but like I also kind of don't, because I don't want to speak, you know. Anyways. Oh, don't. Oh, your World War II. Is it the was it the Kingdom Development or whatever type one? The one where you like build a city or some shit? I don't remember what it was called. No, that would be a different game. That would not be a World War II game, right? I wouldn't know. But yeah. Anyways, I might make a little... I'm weirdly invested in making the really, really bad 90s yaoi, like, drawings nowadays. And it's so stupid! It's so stupid! Like, what do you mean you find just, like, joy in making stupid-ass, bad yaoi drawings? But I do. Ooh, Panera! Nice. You know what? As long as you're at work and as long as... At least you're employed, you know? Like... At least you're employed. I would take that as a win because I truly could never. Ooh, interesting. Okay, have fun with that. I don't play games really ever. The only ones you really see me play on stream are the ones that I play. In which I just play random visual novels and then I play Love Nikki and Infinity Nikki. My two choices in games, but they don't really have new content, so I'm just like not really trying to play more of it. However, I might get back into Genshin because they have the new region, but I don't know if it's like fully the new region, so I don't know if like Nordcry is like fully open yet, because I just want to go back to do all the exploration and then just like leave the game again because it's more fun that way. However, I haven't checked in on the game in a while, and the game gets really boring when you have everything at like 100%. You know, it's like if you finish every single one of the quests in games, and then you finish all the exploration in the game, and then all you can do is just do your daily commissions and level up your characters. Maybe it gets really boring when that happens. So you know, that's kind of why I haven't been back to Genshin in a while, because when I was waiting for the Natland updates, it was fucking hell. It was like genuine hell, like waiting for that shit. Anyways. What are we listening to? Huh, interesting. Oh well. That is German, is crazy. Oh my god, I also keep getting the fucking Chicago what is it, Chicago ads? Like the musical on my like YouTube for some reason, or not on my YouTube, on my Instagram Reels. And I'm like, first of all, I'm not into theater that much. And also, why I don't feel like Chicago would be one of the ones that would interest me, because I believe it is more of a dance like and like performance focused thing, less of a story focused musical. And I'm kind of more there for the plot, so yeah. But yeah. Anyways, that's just what it reminded me of when I heard the song. So I was just like, oh, musical theater, and I was like, yeah, go down the musical theater route of my brain, which is not much. It's very very small route. Um, the only thing in my musical theater stuff is like the only songs that I really know would be like the ones that I did back in high school. Because I was part of the tech crew. It was so fun building shit, okay? It was so fun building shit. I didn't like building like the actual like main set. I did enjoy doing the props though. Um, me and one of my friends, we spent I think like 2 or 3 weeks just building this giant ass cake. Um, out of like foam and shit. It was so fun. Um, very annoying though. Very annoying. It was very hard to find all the items and try to convince the profs to let us use it. And then we had to like use a CNC machine at school to like cut the cake into circles, and we stacked the cake, and then we 3D printed these fucking pillars so that it would be like more fancy, and then we struggled like hell to paint that shit. Oh my god, it was so fun though. I genuinely want to make more props. However, I have not had the time to. But yeah. I also want to make some miniatures. but I don't have time. So I'm like, that sucks. Cause last year I had this weird little phase in the second half of the school year where I just made a bunch of these miniature furniture items out of paper, and they looked really, really cute. And they were surprisingly sturdy for the fact that they were made out of literal paper and glue. But yeah, I kind of want to make a bit more of those, but I haven't had time, sadly, because I just kind of come home after class and just like pass out and just don't wake up, which is not a great way to live, but it's okay. We all do be like that sometimes. Anyways, I'm thinking of making like another thing. Well, one, I have to make another society for one of my other classes. And basically the project is we have to make like 10 editions of an object slash thing. And like the easiest one in my opinion would be to like base it off of like the ego and like the self. Karl Marx, like I believe his theory of like self with like the super ego and all that fun stuff. And make characters based off of it, but I feel like that's kind of boring as a final project. So I'm gonna choose, I think one of my teachers, one of the prompts that we can choose is to like kind of collect information about a society 500,000 light years away, and then you have to come up with a way to record the data, and then that is what you're showing. It's kind of like the data that you get from this fictional world, and I feel like that's much more interesting than trying to, you know, just draw like 10 character sheets. And then there's another one where it's like, oh, we can make a religious object, but I'm like, it would be fun, but I'm like, then I have to make like 10 religious objects, and I don't want to do that. Because I think I'd lose it if I had to make like fucking 10 religious objects. I'm not even religious at all, so I have no idea like what. It would be of a made up religion, of course, because that's just how my projects are. But you have to make like a fake religion. You have to make up a fake religion, and then you have to make objects for it. And the objects have to be able to like kind of like tell stuff about the religion and why it's there and all that. Which it's fun in terms of like religion is fun as a concept. I don't care for it much in practice. By much I mean like I don't give a shit at all about religion in real life and stuff. But it's interesting. Because basically you can make like little like tiles, totems. You can make like what else? Like small objects of worship. Like if you want, like for example, if you have like a religion that has like a spread of items. Like for example, if ever you're praying at a temple and stuff, you have to have like a bunch of these like different things. You can I don't know what exactly, like foods or like sculptures or stuff like that. It would be interesting. But like I'm not really into religion at all, so I'm like I don't really know what I would do. I don't know what that means. What is haru spicy? Oh, interesting. So I would have to come up, I do believe that I do have to come up with my own religion, and religious objects and stuff. And I don't know, I'm just like, I think it's mostly because I don't feel like sculpting that much for my projects. Obviously I'm not really the type to do that, if you can't tell from the fact that I mostly work digitally in 2D. It's not something that I'm too into. I can try, but it's not, I don't know. It definitely has to be much more on the creative side. Like, you have to like come up with like the religion and stuff. I do believe that Like you're not just like taking a pre-existing like religion and creating more objects for it. It's like not like you're reinventing the cross and stuff like that, you know? But yeah, I'm thinking probably of making like, I could do like a journal entry. Like I could do like different, you know, okay. I don't know how to explain it, but you know, like those, but then I have to like explain a lot about the creatures. Like, I don't know what you call it. Like, you know how in some games when you open like it's like an encyclopedia of like the monsters and stuff. Yeah, no. You know how in games and stuff you can like open an encyclopedia of the monsters and like the foes you can like fight. I kind of think it'd be cool if I did like a little bit of that. Like I would have like little like collections of like certain little monsters that you can come across in this like fictional universe, and then like it's kind of like a little creature observation diary maybe. I think that'd be cool. I haven't drawn like monsters and stuff really before, so I think it'd be an interesting little challenge too. And then it'll all be packaged up in like little envelopes and shit, and I think it'd be cool as a concept. But I'm like, is that too boring? Is that too basic? Should I go like a little bit further with the idea? You know, stuff like that. I love being an art student that just overthinks fucking everything. It truly is very helpful. It's honestly really helpful with my projects because then I'm like thinking about things and I think more. And then like I'm lying in bed being like, okay, what if I add this random useless detail to this drawing? Honestly, I've seen a lot of them who just don't like come up with the ideas, and like I find a lot of people who don't actually overthink as much as I do. Like if I ask them something about their thing and they can't answer, I'm just like, what do you mean you haven't decided on like the specific forms of, I don't know, like why you would use this specific like random object in this part of the drawing, you know? Like it's, I don't know, I do find a lot of people who are not as overthinky as me, but that's fine. Because it's like sometimes a girl just wants to go and like find some random person and just like yap to them about like their idea, and then you can kind of bounce ideas back and forth. Which, by the way, shout out to the Art Fight server on Discord for being very helpful. Whenever I start overthinking about stupid little details, I could just go to them and then one of these motherfuckers will have an idea, and it's great. Like with the fish Yuri, I was going there and I was like, okay guys, theoretically, like how would you have like a fish society go? Like I did come up with most of it, but you know, there's like a little bit of issues that I have with like figuring out the religion because I'm not religious at all. And therefore I don't have as much insight into how religions and stuff are formed, and also I don't know too much about marine creatures, right? And I know that some people on Art Fight really like sea animals and stuff, so you know, I kind of stole like, and I was talking to them about it, and they were like, okay, so like theoretically they would have to live like this for it to make sense, and I'm like, oh my god, that's so cool, and then I just kind of come up with ideas from there. But yeah, I do find having somebody to bounce ideas off of is really helpful when doing anything really, but specifically for art. I don't know a lot about religion. I know I know enough about the major religions in the world because of the fact that I had to take religious world religions as like a class back in high school. It was mandatory anyways. So like I know a little bit about the religions, but not too much about them. Like I'm not too invested as to how certain religions are formed, under what circumstances, like in the society, some religions would be formed. However, one of the things I do know about religions is like religious objects, because I enjoy art history to a certain degree, and religious objects are an interesting focus that you can like take in art history. And like specifically with like a lot of the things that you learn like why certain groups of people would create art this way, or why their certain objects of worship are created in certain ways. And that's the part that I find interesting. So that's what I know about religions mostly, is more of the objects itself, and less of the like more of the function of the objects, less of the religion and values and beliefs and systems, you know. But yeah, it's interesting, generally speaking. But yeah, I think I might do a creature journal entry for my final project for that class. But I do not want to only do the creature journal entries, because I feel like that would get a little bit boring. I kind of want to develop a little bit more about the creatures, and maybe I can do it like each creature has their own like little tribe, of kind of like you know how in like fantasy worlds, how they have like elves and stuff, and how like the elves, I don't really know how to explain it. Like you know how the elves have their own like little system of governance usually in these stories, and then how like the dwarves, they live in their own world, and then sometimes they also have like spiritual animals in like certain like stories and stuff. I'm thinking if I want to like take a little bit from like those type of things, or if I just want to like, you know. Yeah. Yeah, so because the world that I'm building is in a different planet, I'm not exactly sure how peaceful I want it to be. Because on one hand, if I have the character, the fictional character, like the fictional researcher character that I have, who is going to this said like planet, if the civilization is not peaceful, it would be hard for them to interact, and therefore the person would have to observe all these civilizations from afar. However, it would be but if I do have like a crisis, it's like but I'm just not sure exactly how to do it. So I'm not sure if I should use religion as a building off point in the story, or if I should come up with like something else as like a way to just start thinking about the world. Because with the cannibalist gay fish mermaid things, it started mostly because I was thinking, it was on stream as well, about like what would be like the moral implications of using other sea animals as like pieces of clothing if you yourself was a sea animal, and if you were able to speak to sea animals, which is how we came up with the whole system of the government, and how there's like an education gap within the fish and stuff like that. Um, and then I just kind of built off of that idea. Um, but I haven't come up with like a new creature, so that's why I haven't had a new idea. Because I've just been drawing like really, really badly done yaoi like in the past few days. Like I swear to God, I've just been doing nothing in my life. And that is okay. So no, I don't know anything about Persona 5, but I have to go to a Persona 5 cafe with my friends next in 2 weeks, I think. So we will see how that turns out. Oh, and I have to tell her that I'm gonna be drawing there though. It's okay. I do have a habit of going to like collab cafes and just drawing. Anyways. I'm like thinking how much more I should work on this. The rendering. Cause it's like okay. Fuck. Why does that always happen? It's okay. Anyways. Am I working on everything else so that I can avoid doing the umbrella? No comment. I plead the fifth, actually. Yeah, definitely. Bro, I really not fucking with the... It's okay. I'll have to do it eventually anyway, so I might as well do it soon. Give me a second. Let me just get in, like, roughen the hair. More hair details. My voice is, like, dying right now. Sometimes a girl just yaps for too long, and that is okay. I don't really know how to render an umbrella. Does anybody know how to render an umbrella? Have you ever rendered an umbrella? Do people render umbrellas? I don't fucking know. Whatever. Oh, also sorry for the... We're back to the Yaoi playlist. It's okay. Anyways. Ah! My stuff is everywhere. It's also 4 a.m. for me, but it's okay. Because I don't sleep anyways. Gotta take myself out with, melatonin all the time. It's okay. Yeah, I think I should have a pattern too. I'm just not sure if the shading is correct. That's the only issue. Because it obviously not much thought was put into it. Because it was just like the rough vibes of umbrella. Because it would be a folded umbrella, right? So it would, logically speaking, hold on. Yeah, logically speaking, the umbrella itself would probably have like at least a little bit of like ridges between each like fold, when it opens. So like it would be like 1 2 1 2. I don't know how to explain that, but yeah. No, I feel like there should at least be like an indication that there's like different sections to it. I'm not sure. I can okay. You know what? Fine. We'll just add a pattern onto it first. I think we'll do a lotus flower pattern. Because it makes sense with the lore. Okay, it makes sense with the lore of this fanfic. Okay. Um. Oh, you know what? One thing is that I do need. Sorry, one thing that I do need to do is, I need to actually make the shading go from this section because this would be the darkest part of the umbrella, and I just totally forgot about that part. So actually, technically speaking, I've been doing the shading a little bit wrong, but that's okay. That's what right now is for. Because this part is objectively the part that's like the highest point in the umbrella. I feel like I'm just doing the shading the wrong here. That's okay. Yeah, I don't know actually. It would be a paper umbrella, but like I feel like it'd still be a little bit thicker. But it's like the umbrella is kind of like acting like a parasol, so it's supposed to block at least quite a bit of the sun, from hitting the person. I do believe that is the main purpose of parasols. Um, so I feel like I should have at least a little bit more relevant shading. Like I do feel like the edges can be lighter, but I don't think the center should be completely bright. That's how I interpret it, at least. I don't have a paper umbrella to like check if that would work in real life, but yeah. I'm kind of basing it off of my reference photo, um, which is a 3D model that some stranger did on the internet, um, as to how the paper umbrella would work. Which does mean that it would be a solid object because of that, so it's, gotta take the shading with a grain of salt. That's okay. Basically, I just want it so that the circle kind of goes like that, more like. Like, this part should be darker than the one at the front right now. That's all I know. I don't know. It's okay. The umbrella is not really the important part of the thing, even though it's weird. It's large on the image, but it's definitely not supposed to be the focal point of the drawing. Hopefully it won't be. I don't know. It's very large. Maybe it'll end up being the focal point. Well, hopefully no one will judge me too much for that, but okay. Like a little bit more like that, I think, would make more sense with the umbrella. I don't know. That's how I feel like it might be, but I don't really know how these umbrellas work. Uh, I don't own one, so it's okay. If it doesn't look right, I will fix it eventually later. Anyways, so back to the patterning, which is obviously the more important part of this. We're doing lotus flowers mainly because the story demands it. But also because lotus flowers are interesting and are a nice little symbol of rebirth when needed. Um, I'm thinking about how I want it to be. Like, I want like the flower to be like here, and then like the leaves can spread out like this way. Maybe we can do that. Okay, let's do that. But obviously, lotus flowers are definitely much more a vertical plant than a horizontal one. But that's okay. I don't know. I don't like the way I'm drawing this pattern. Hold on, give me a second. This will be a struggle. Uh it's a little bit harder because it's like it has to be like I don't want it to be like a filled in like embroidery thing. Like you know how sometimes you have like the embroidered thing and then it'd be like different shades of colors, like you know like the flower would be like this pink, and then it would like a couple strands down it'll go like slowly into white, you know, stuff like that. Like I could do it, but I feel like it just wouldn't fit with the fact that it's paper, so it'd probably be more of a like a line drawing. Um, but yeah. That's my idea, though. You know. I'll just use like gold thread, yellow thread. How do I do this? Like this, maybe? I don't know. I'll change it to this angle of the actual umbrella later. I think. Just gotta get the flower shape in first. I never really draw lotus flowers because they're a little bit weird to me. I'm not into these type of stuck on the ground flowers because they're really hard to add in to like other flower compositions in my opinion, but it's okay. I prefer like smaller flowers, like the ones with like the little bells and stuff like that, like bell shaped or like just like little ones. Not a big fan of cluster flowers either though, um just because they're a pain in the ass to draw. like like the hydrangeas, fucking horrific ass thing. However, if I take like individual pieces of the hydrangea, I'm like okay with. It's just like I can't draw. I hate drawing them together. You know. It would be like I don't know how to draw the shape of a lotus leaf. Something like this, I think. Oops. Lotus flower leaves are interesting though. They have like really nice folds, in my opinion. Also, lotus, like the roots, they're so delicious. I know what I like, and I like eating it. It's okay. Juniper rust fungus. Interesting. Wait, hold on. I don't think I've seen that one before. Give me a second. Oh, interesting. Wow. What an odd shape. Yes, the stream is. What do you mean? Oh, the stream is still on. Oh my god. You know what? No comment. Yeah, it's still here. We're still here, chat. It's okay. It's okay. I know you use me as background music anyways. It's okay. Or background yapping. I don't fucking know what I count as. What am I here for? Who am I? It's okay. I don't have a good sleep schedule anyway, so it doesn't really matter. I don't like this one. I'm gonna kill her. Okay, let's just keep it as one little flower here, and then I'll keep some lotus petals floating around. Like that, I think would be good. And then I'm gonna just lock this, change it to white. What the fuck? Okay. Sure. I don't know how to draw embroidery properly. It's not something that I ever figured out. That's okay. Change U to a multiply layer. I'm truly just here to be here. And that is okay. Am I truly joyful though? I don't know. I feel like I'm just like a little creature. It's okay. How do you draw embroidery? I'm gonna try something and see if it works. I don't know where I came up with this idea. We're just gonna go with it and see if it works. Yeah, this makes more sense to me. Because you know how embroidery is technically like you have to have like little layers? Separate lines? Yeah, I could do that. Hold on. But I think the main thing is the actual way the lines work. You can just kind of like erase parts of it. It don't matter that much. Just so it feels like there's a little bit of like line work here. That feels slightly better. Though I will say, I definitely think that it makes more sense for less of embroidering onto paper, but more like ink drawings onto it. I don't know, it just doesn't feel right to try and embroider a pattern onto clothes. I'm gonna change the color. I think that's what's bothering me right now. No, the grass. It haunts me. She haunts me. Does this make sense? I don't know, what do we think? It's like cute, but I'm like, is it a need for the paper fan? Umbrella thing. Or is it just like kind of just for aesthetic value? And no other reason. Like, do you even need to exist on here? That's the question. I'm gonna keep, okay, I'm gonna keep one of them. I'm not gonna keep both. It's like, okay. Yeah, you know what? Sure, I'll keep it. Yeah, definitely just one side. But I'm just like, it doesn't feel like it fits with the drawing, which is the issue. I think, okay, I think it's a shading issue. Hold on. Give me a second. This is my fault. Nope, pen. Cause it'll still have to follow the way the shading is, you know. But it'll still have to be like, yeah, it'll still have to be like somewhat relevant to the shading. Okay. I think that's it. Let's just keep it that way. Then if I hate it later, I'll deal with it later. I don't feel like working too much on the fan though. It feels boring to me. Trying to keep it as even as I can, but I'm just kind of bullshitting the drawing part, so. So, like, Zombie outbreak, what am I doing? I'll kill myself. Um, but like, are you assuming that, like, assume I want to survive, or like, because realistically, I would just shoot myself, or like, find some way to die. Like, early. Like, I will give myself into the zombies. Um, it's like, there's no point in surviving a zombie outbreak, let's be real. Assume I want to survive, I don't know, actually. Never thought of that part. Um, I'd probably just like try to. I would say try to get as much supply as possible, but then I'm like, realistically, I wouldn't be able to do that. I think at the very least, I'll try to just barricade myself into a building and then stay there as long as I can, and then hope that the zombie outbreak will be like at least further away from me, and then I leave, and then I find somewhere else to ransack and just live in for a while, until I eventually die off because I'm fucking stupid. Weapons wise, I don't really feel like fighting the zombies at all, so I don't feel like taking extra risks. You know? I'm sorry! I don't see the need of surviving a zombie outbreak. I feel like if there was a zombie outbreak, I would just be the first to go, you know? Like, I don't see the point in living through that. Plus, zombie outbreaks would definitely not be a good thing for girls, women, just generally speaking, to live through. And I also don't want to be like dirty and gross all the time. You know? Like, imagine being dirty, gross, and just like running around all the time trying to like not die from a fucking zombie. Like, that shit's so annoying. Like, I'd rather just, like, die and get over with. Maybe I'd latch on to the nearest survivor that I can find. I don't know. That'd be, like, it, though. I feel like anarchy would always just end up being bad. It's like, whenever social rules disappear, I feel like women and children are usually the ones who get affected the most. In, like, wars and stuff. So, you know. Especially if you end up going to, like, a shelter. Ugh. That would not be fun at all. Yeah, I'd just kill myself. So. It's objectively a better way to deal with. Like, at least I have a reason. Plus, also, I don't see the point in, like, having hope that they'll find a cure anytime soon. Like, I know a lot of zombie stories and stuff, they're like, oh my god, they're gonna find a cure soon, so, like, we gotta stay alive until that. But then I'm like, okay, but what happens after? Like, the government's collapsed. Um, you guys are basically off to fend for yourself. There's, like, no real structure in the world anymore after a zombie outbreak. So I'm like, there's not really a point in trying to stay alive, because it's like, after, like, after the zombie outbreak is over, assuming that you even manage to survive the whole thing, it's like, one, you have a bunch of trauma, right? But two, it's like, there's, like, no guarantee that life will be better after the zombie outbreak, or even that life will go back to normal. Um, which I'm just like, there's no point. I'm like, I'm not gonna wait my whole life just to get the internet back. Like, that's, like, I feel like being on the internet would not be one of the top priorities after a zombie outbreak. It would probably be some shit like, oh, getting food and, like, water and securing stuff, would be definitely much more, on a higher list of priorities. And I'm like, I don't want to, like, do that. Seems like a lot of work. I also don't want to figure out, like, the testing that they would do on, like, people to figure out how to reverse the zombie outbreak would take way too long. And then watch after the zombie outbreak happens, it would be like, the rich people would be able to, like, hide away somewhere, right? And then when you go back, it's like nothing has changed in the world at all. Like, the system's the same. People would probably still somehow be fucking forced back to a 9 to 5 or some shit. And, like, honestly, I feel like after the zombie outbreak, there'll be more like politicians being like, oh, like, dealing with the zombie outbreak and being like, okay, guys, like, there'll be, like, a scramble for power, which will not be fun to deal with afterwards, because obviously to get the world back in order, you probably want to have at least a couple of authority figures to help that out, and most likely that will end up with a lot more problems than, just dying. I feel like, yeah, it would just be much more of a hassle to live than it would be just to die. And then, I don't know, hope to reincarnate as, like, a fucking, like, piece of cheese on the side of the road in your next life. You know? That's my idea of zombie outbreaks. It's fun in theory, it's fun for me to read, but in like, actuality, if it did happen to me, I would just kill myself. Easy. Okay, it wouldn't be easy to kill myself, but, I'd find a way to kill myself. I feel like, logically, the easiest way to go would just be, like, to walk outside and be like, hey, zombies, like, get what you get, But, yeah. They aren't No, see, the thing is, people want to have power. Like that is like a thing that most people like. Everybody kind of have like a scramble for power at all times. So even if it's not like politicians, there could be like, let's say like if, for example, you have like a survivor camp or something, like people who are leading the survivor camps would probably want to have more power over the people in the camp. And so after like the zombie outbreak is over, they would probably be like, oh, I saved the most people, therefore I should be the leader of this new world, blah 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 blah, and get all the privileges that come with that. And I feel like there's less people who would, actually want to deal with that. But yeah, I feel like power struggles are always an issue, like in the world. Like no matter how chaotic the world is, I feel like one of the first things that people do is like, oh, we gotta find a new leader or some bullshit, or like, oh, take down the government, or I don't agree with you, you don't agree with me, we have to find like a common ground, and that's where different groups of people end up going together, and it's so fucking annoying. Anyways. But yeah, I personally believe that power struggles would definitely be a very big issue post apocalypse. I don't have much trust in human beings being like decent to each other, which I think is probably the main issue on my end. Like for all we know, the new person who takes power could be a lol cow from like 4chan or something, you know? It's like they're not. You don't know that. I doubt people would just help each other out of the kindness of their heart or some bullshit. After an outbreak, I feel like most people will try to restore their own order as much as possible. Exactly, that's what I'm saying. Yeah, like logically, after like, assume a zombie outbreak is over. Like I feel like a lot of people would, like, some people might try to help others and be like, oh, I'll help you restore this, but some people might be like, oh, this person's helping me, therefore I don't need to do anything, and therefore I will just exploit their labor, you know, and like, and it's just like, I feel like human nature doesn't really change that much. Like, sure, you can help somebody, but then, like, what if they don't want to help anybody else? What if they don't want to, quote unquote, pass the kindness forward, you know? What if they just want to lounge around, and then they're like, oh my god, look, this person's gonna help me, therefore I don't need to do anything. And stuff like that. Yeah, but then you have to have like a, like, kind of like a standard of what is equivalent, and that's like, but then it's like then you're like, oh, I think, like, for example, for me, if I think that I don't know, if I give you a can of food and you let me stay like a night, then like I think that's an equal exchange, because the can of food is all I have, but you have a whole like house and like area that you just don't use. You might not think that that is equal, and then there'll be like arguments over what would be considered like an equal trade, you know. Yeah, but you know, it's stuff like that. And then what if the person doesn't want to teach you how to farm? You know, what if they only want to keep the farm for themselves, so that like they are the only person who makes like the produce in this area, so that they can monopolize it, you know? Like, there's a lot of issues, I feel like, for zombie outbreaks and stuff. I don't really like people that much, if you can't tell. I don't view humanity in a very positive light a lot of the time. Um, it's like, if you have a skill, like, a lot of people will try to gatekeep it, right? Like you can see that now. It's like people will try to gatekeep stuff all the time. Um, Yeah. Exactly. But yeah, so if a zombie outbreak were to happen, I would just kill myself. Saves my time, saves everybody else's time, saves resources. It's great. Great solution. 10 out of 10. I see no downsides for me just immediately dying at the zombie outbreak. Um, I don't have to deal with anarchy. I don't have to deal with the zombies. I don't have to deal with the aftermath. People don't have to, like, I'm not taking away anybody else's resources. Yeah, but like at that point it's like everybody it's like a free for all, like everybody for themselves, right? So it's like I don't think you would care that much when you're trying not to fucking get killed by zombies. It's like sure, like my friend died, but like, you know, it's like mourn them after you ran away from these fucking zombies. Um so yeah, that's my opinion on zombie outbreaks at least. That's why whenever I read zombie media, I'm like, damn, I could never. Like, I could never stay positive in those scenarios. I would just die. Like, it makes my life easier. Or lack thereof, I guess, life easier. The good thing about having a zombie outbreak, though, would be that there's no more, like, jobs. Post zombie outbreak, the job market will definitely be very, very open. Um, but yeah. Well, yeah, but also, like, would the games even exist post zombie outbreak? Like, would you have electricity to be able to play the games? Or would you just suffer? You know? That's true, but I feel like your generator can only go for so long, so, you know. I also don't have a generator, so I would just run out of battery and just kill myself. Finish reading the manhwa that I'm currently reading, then immediately step into the zombie horde. You know, very solid idea. Plus, I feel like I'd get so stressed from the anxiety of potentially dying any minute that I would just want to kill myself anyways. So, you know. I don't do well under scenarios where I'm constantly anxious all the time. Nuclear apocalypse? No. A lot of apocalypses and stuff, I think I would just rather just die. There's honestly very little scenarios which I would just like want to live after. It's like there's no point in my opinion. Like a nuclear apocalypse, you would also have to deal with like the food scarcity issue, and then I'm like, I don't want to deal with that shit. However, I would at least for the nuclear apocalypse, I would have to try to find a better way to die than. I feel like it's easier to die within a zombie apocalypse scenario than a nuclear apocalypse one. Like the nuclear apocalypse one, you'd have to kill yourself. Like, unless you want to go outside and then get like your body slowly mutated from the nuclear radiation, which would be a very, very painful process. The only other way to die would just be to like kill yourself. And then again, you know, it's like I don't feel like living, so I'm like I might as well give the resources that I could be using to somebody else, and then they can live, I don't know, like a day or two longer if they want to live a day or two longer. You know? There's like no point in me like living longer. I don't know what type of scenario I would actually want to like live in. Yeah, anyways, I generally don't think I'm a very optimistic person anyways, when it comes to, like, things like nuclear apocalypses and stuff. Well, actually, I just don't think I'm too optimistic as a person, generally speaking. So I'm just like, I just die. I just die. Yeah, exactly. Like, if the internet doesn't go away, then, like, I'll live-ish for a little bit. But then I realize that the world is hopeless and I just kill myself anyways. Like, for me, I feel like even if I were to like be trapped in like a death game, you know, like Alice in Borderland style type of shit, I would still find a way to kill myself as early as possible. Because like I just don't want to deal with that. I don't want to deal with the stress. I don't want to deal with all that. It's like the world's already annoying enough, I might as well just die. But yeah. Oh, boop. Hello. Thank you for the little show love thing. Little bit, I think it was. Wow. But yeah. I will say, like, some of them are kind of interesting. I did read this one manga back when I was younger, like, it was called Warble or something. That one's pretty interesting. However, again, not like I would still not really feel like living that long in that one. That one was not. It was interesting of a story, but it was very like depressing. Anyways, so I don't think I'd want to like live long in a scenario. Thank you for the hydrate. But anyways, yeah, that's how it. Okay, technically, Warble was like a kind of internet death game kind of scenario, except you get revealed after a bit of the story that it's not actually you're not actually in like your phone and stuff playing the game. You're actually like it's a real life like arena that some motherfucker made somewhere, and stuff like that. It was really interesting of a story, but it was really, really like dark. But yeah, that's my opinion on apocalypses. People who genuinely want to survive apocalypses, like y'all are brave, but I could never. Anyways, xielian. I don't really know how to render this. I'm just kind of doing shit at this point. Lol. Oops. It's okay. Oh, right. Should not be taking color from the neck as red, but that's okay. I don't know. I feel like the color balance is a little off. Brave or ignorant? Yeah, that's true. I don't know. For me, I feel like I would just die, but I know there are people who actually genuinely like want to live in shit, and I don't get that. With apocalypse scenarios, I'm like, there's kind of no point in it. Like, I know you want to have your little superhero moment, but girl, it's not worth it. It ain't worth it. Like, let's be for real. all that bullshit just for another collapsed government and then probably like another fucking riot or revolution like 500 years later. Like, what the fuck is the point, you know? I've also seen like those like natural disaster apocalypse ones where it's like the world starts to get flooded and stuff. What was it, like the movie? I think it was like 2012 or something. That one's also interesting, but again, I'm like, I don't feel the need to try and survive that long. It's like, it's just, I don't see the need of getting everybody onto a boat and then trying to drift out into the ocean until you somehow rebuild civilization. It's like, I don't see the point of that, personally, but you know, there's a lot. I'm just like, I really don't get apocalypse movies. Like, okay, I get apocalypses as in like they're interesting like to explore, but I feel like realistically I would never want to be a part of one. Like the only way I would like accept being a part of an apocalypse is if I was born into a world that was already in an apocalypse. I would not want to have an apocalypse start while I'm already in the world, because then I would just kill myself. But if I were already in like a world that had like an apocalypse anyways, then I have to just like deal with it, you know, like that's like a side thing. And I would just, I guess I'd have to kind of survive for at least a little while, and then if I find it still hopeless, then I kill myself. Great life solution, just die. I feel like personally I do prefer much more like more on the post-apocalypse side of stories, less of like a apocalypse just starting at the start of the series kind of stories, because I find it more interesting to see how the world has changed after the apocalypse as opposed to, you know, like what these fuckers are doing fighting off the zombies or fighting off the monsters and shit during the apocalypse. But that's my personal preference. So like series like I don't know if you read it. I believe it's a webtoon. Dam of the Forest. That one's really interesting because it's like this kid who like isolates himself, and then there's like a fucking apocalypse, and then he comes out and he's like, oh, what the fuck. And then he has to kind of like live in that world. That was interesting. Or like things like Little Mushroom, the manhwa was also very, very fun. Because like they're like post-apocalypse. It's like a nuclear apocalypse, I believe, for that one. In which what do you call it? I forgot the characters' names. But basically one of the characters is a mushroom plant that got mutated because of the nuclear kind of radiation, or just like the general radiation. I don't think they have a name for it yet, or at least I don't remember. But they have like some type of radiation poisoning, and that's why he who was once a mushroom turned into a person. Well, technically took a body of another person, anyways, a dead person. But yeah, there's like that as an issue, and that's interesting because you can see how like the mushroom person thing is navigating the world of humans, but also you could see how like the society of the humans have changed and what preventative measures they took in like post the apocalypse, and how like, you know, certain people have to die because for the greater good or shit like that. But yeah, so I personally prefer much more like post-apocalypse stories compared to like start of the apocalypse stories, because I find those ones much more boring. Usually just there for action, so. But yeah. It's my weird little opinions on apocalypse stories. How long have I been streaming for? Oh my god, it's almost 3 hours, sorry. Didn't mean for this stream to go on for so long, but I think I just kind of lost track of time. And here I was wondering why my voice was like dying slowly. Huh, guess I've been talking for a while, so. Yeah, respect to those streamers who just do just chatting streams for like 5 hours straight. Like, you do you, but I could literally never. Yeah, I'm still not done the drawing, so I'm kind of just like, we're just gonna try to finish it as fast as we can now, just so I can go sleep. But 36-hour streams are crazy. I'm tapped out after like a 4-hour stream, 3-hour stream sometimes. Or sometimes you just watch me stream and then like 10 minutes, like, and then like 40 minutes later, I'm like, okay guys, I'm fucking leaving. I can't do this shit. Which does also happen, you know, because everybody gets tired at different paces. And I get tired pretty easily. That's okay. But yeah, I can never really do like too long streams because I just don't feel like it. And also I run out of things to talk about really easily as well. So. I feel like as a person I'm not too interesting, so. In the real world, so. It's okay. That's why I find my presence online more fun. I'm like debating how much I want to render this tassel thing. I'm like, not that much, because I feel like it's not as important in the drawing compared to a lot of the other parts of it. Yeah, I don't feel like it'd be too noticeable if I don't render it too much. But I love picking and choosing which parts of the drawing to neglect. You know what? I find this okay as a final. That, like, I could definitely work on it more, but like I don't feel like it. So I'm just gonna do some last minute color adjustments and then we should be good to go. One of which will definitely be the light in the background. Gotta blow up the saturation on the edges. Hold on, I'm gonna make this part something like that, I think. Would be very helpful. Also have a value checker just to double check that the values are like half decent at the very least. Like up here is definitely an issue that I have a lot. I can make it more saturated, but I don't feel like it. I kind of like it how like bright it is, but I might add, okay, I'll add a correction layer and I'll change the tonal curve for it, but we'll see if I want to keep it. Yeah, I definitely won't want to keep that part. I'll keep this part. I'll turn it down a little bit, just so it's like kind of a bit more natural. And I might add, hold on, I'm not gonna add more light on these parts. My logic is if I add light on this part, then it'll like kind of separate it from the umbrella, and then it'll like look a bit better. because then you can see the different values and you're like, oh, this is where the flower is and this is where the umbrella starts and stuff like that. However, I do need to darken some other parts. Like right here, I feel like it would be better if it's darker than the umbrella. This little section right here. Maybe. I'm not sure. Also, grayscaling does help a lot, I will say. I love grayscale. See, now you can kind of see a bit more of the shape of the character, a little bit more, compared to before. It's like a little bit more obvious, which is good. That's what I'm looking for. Okay, maybe not that much. Yeah, okay, I'll take that. And then I'm also gonna add a bit of a multiply layer, just so I can darken certain parts of this as well. Because I do see that this part is they look like one piece in grayscale, which is really annoying. Very hard to tell apart this section because of the detail. Just gotta fix the values a tiny bit. So I want the flower crown to stand out a bit more in the drawing. But there's like other parts that I'm like, here, I'm like, I'm not too into bothering if I want to have this stand out or not. So I'm just like, whatever. A bit more whatever with it. Between these two, maybe I want a little bit more shadow here, just a tiny bit, just so you could tell which part starts where. Same over here a little bit more. Usually, I will say, sometimes I do these adjustments when I'm not on, like, streaming. So sometimes the end of how much I've, like, streamed the drawing and then what I end up posting in the end is slightly different because of it, but it's, like, not too obvious since the streams are usually not the best quality in terms of seeing the end product. So it's, like, you know, just very slight color adjustments and stuff like that. Helps a lot. Oh shit, whoops. Sorry. That was weird. I gotta change the gradient map. Okay, well that's not bad, I think. We'll keep that part. We'll keep that much in. Alright. Let's add a gradient map layer. Just so I can get a more cohesive color scheme. Wow, funky. Sorry, I have a lot of these funky things. using this shit like a filter. Very light filter, however, it's still a filter. I'm gonna put them into. I'm gonna put all this into it. I'm gonna try that weird little Twitter trend real quick. Give me a second. Where you do this, clip this, drag this to an orange color, fill the layer, change it to brightness, luminosity, merge down, change it to hard light, turn it down. I don't like the hard light though. Vivid light? Selected. Wow. What if I change this to like a darker? Yeah, what if, yeah, I'm gonna change it to a darker color. I think I prefer this more. I can turn this down. So I can get it more saturated, because I do like it a bit more saturated. I don't know. I definitely think it was way too gray before. That's for sure. Like this. I'm trying to turn it up. I'm looking at my iPad just to like double check, because the values on my laptop and any other screen is slightly different. Let's change it to 52. Yeah, I'm happy with this, I think. I'm thinking if I want to add like a couple of this petal effect. Can add some petals. Kidding. I'll probably keep these petals white. Actually, I'm not kidding. Or I could do purple. I don't mind it too much. Oh shh. I just have to blur this shit. I kind of like this actually. Just add a little bit more sparkles to it. Okay. I think I'm pretty much done with this drawing. I don't see anything else I want to like add specifically, so just gonna sign it off somewhere, turn it to some random ass layer mode. And yeah, I think we're good, y'all. Hold on, there's one part that's really bothering me right now. These two. Anyways, thank you for coming to the stream, and this will be the end of it. I will see you guys next time. I don't know what I'm gonna draw next time, to be decided. Anyways, bye bye!